It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
Thank you for tuning in to the Sean Widmer Podcast. I appreciate it very, very much. It's perseverance mode here at the Widmer House. Shout out to my guy Ian, who I work with, perseverance mode for him as well, as the Western Conference Finals have started in the NBA playoffs. We'll talk about that here in a second. I've got to talk about a company that I feel like should be in a bigger spot than they are now, and all that needed to happen for them. Let's throw it back with two actually kitchen items, and the other one we will talk about because it's resurged in my life at the age of 43. Plus the Kelly's What Are You Into sort of I guess a commentary on the vastness of part of the internet. Again, thank you for tuning in. Very much appreciated. If you want to comment on the podcast, you can do that over at seanslife.com. You can do it at Spotify as well. Or if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for checking out the YouTube. I appreciate it. Hi, wave to the YouTube people. That's what you got to do. I do a bad job of looking up at the camera. I don't know. I just don't do it. Okay. Ian, my guy at work, he and I are going to need to persevere the next few weeks. We are in for the long haul. The Western Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Finals are here. I watch a lot of NBA playoffs. I've watched, way too many games the last few weeks. But now we are in a mode where it's not optional. Now we're in a mode where the games are must watch. We've got the Knicks-Pacers tomorrow night. It's must watch. Tonight, even though it was a blowout for Oklahoma City, it's must watch. We're in that mode. But the problem with that is, here it is 11:20 at night, and I know that this Oklahoma City-Minnesota game was done about 40 minutes ago, but you got to watch till the end. It got out of hand. Oklahoma City outscores Minnesota 70-40 in the second half. It was just complete and total domination. But you got to watch. You got to watch till the end because we are nearing the end of basketball season, which means we're entering summer, which is wonderful. But if you're not a baseball person, and I'm not a diehard baseball person over the course of the summer when it's just a lot of games that start to feel very meaningless, we're about to enter that stretch where we don't have truly meaningful sporting events on a regular basis, as we now will wait all summer long for football. And then, get back into the swing of things. But you can start to sniff it in the air. And I don't love that smell. I'll tell you that much right now. Anyways, I'm excited about these series. This is not a sports episode right now, even though it started out like that. If you have not seen Oklahoma City, man, I'm still having a hard time watching them because they're supposed to be the Sonics. This is a bitter old man take that's 15 years old, but they're supposed to be the Sonics. Every time they say Sam Presti on the broadcast, it just makes me sort of twinge and get some PTSD and miss my long-lost favorite sports franchise of all time. Oh, it hurts. Anyways, they're really good. And I was texting with Ian tonight, and it got me watching the game a lot more on what they're good at. Their defense is insane. They are the longest team across the board. I feel like their guards are long. Their forwards are extremely athletic. And then, of course, Chet Holmgren is as tall as a building and as long as a building. It's insane watching him play defense at the rim. He's a freak. It's crazy. So they're going to be really tough. They also just get their nose into everything. Okay, this is not sports. But Ian, we are in for late nights the next few weeks. We've got to persevere and get through work and act like we didn't stay up super late the night before. Okay, I need to talk about a product, and I need to look right now where they're at because I do not hear about them. I work with and around a lot of youth, younger people out of college into their first phase of life out of school, and you're starting to get into the working world, and you're starting to work into your big kid job. And I'm around these guys all the time, and it's really fun. And I love talking with them. I love hearing about what's going on. And there's something that's not brought up that I feel like was brought up quite a lot in my youth, and this would have been when I was their age in the early 2000s. Where are Totino's pizza rolls right now. Okay, I'm on their website. They've got still, the good variety of them. You've got your pepperoni, you've got your triple pepperoni combination. There's a triple cheese, supreme, triple meat, regular cheese. There are these Hellfire Club, which I'm assuming is a shout out to Stranger Things. It is Hellfire Club, a spicy cheese, a spicy pepperoni. There's these next level buffalo style chicken pizza rolls, next level orange chicken pizza rolls. And there's just, let's see, pepperoni and bacon. There's a lot of options, right? There's a lot of options here in the pizza roll department. But I'm realizing this product missed its window to truly erupt because of one thing. And like I said, I work around youth. I don't hear a lot about pizza rolls. When I was a kid, they were talked about all the time because they were the product, right? You're out of school. You're either in college or just out of college. You're making ends meet. You're spending money on, not food always. Just, food is kind of on the budget list. It was like cool things that I can play with, toys, video games, vehicles for a lot of people, things to tinker with. And then you kind of keep going down internet, power, water. There's more. The little dollar air things because you had a little leak in your tire, but you didn't want to buy a tire. So instead, you spent $70 on air over the course of a couple of weeks. Those were the important things. And then food was down there. And so when food's down there and you're looking to save money, you're buying things like pizza rolls. You're buying your top ramens. You're buying all those things. Pizza rolls were a big deal. They had a moment, though. They were really popular. And I think they had a chance, if things had been different, to truly take over the food world. But the air fryer came into play too late. Too late. I thought about it tonight because I am still gross. And I was like, you know what sounds good? As I was driving home, and I was like, okay, we got some basketball on tonight. I don't want to cook up anything crazy. What's just a little snack I can sit on the couch and eat? You know what? Pizza rolls. Throw it back to my 20s. And you know how delightful it is to make a pizza roll in 2025? I don't think the kids these days get it. When pizza rolls were really popping off and they were the thing, you had to preheat your doggone oven and then bake these bad boys for a very long time in the oven, flipping them halfway over. It's just a lot of tedious work to get a pizza roll right. Otherwise, you're throwing them in the microwave, and those just sucked. They were just soggy. We all did it, but they were soggy, not always cooked all the way through. They were either overly hot or still cold in the middle, and those would be two on the same plate. You'd have one on the plate that was so hot it would burn through your entire skull, and then the one right next to it, you're like so worried about taking a bite, you finally bite in, and it's still frozen. I don't understand microwaves, and I don't understand pizza rolls in microwaves, but the air fryer is the revolutionary device we all needed to be able to easily access in our homes that just turns pizza rolls into the nicest, greatest, grossest for your body snack to have in your freezer. They're amazing. And all you do is, you click the button, it heats up real fast. You're not waiting 20 minutes for your oven to preheat. It air fries them so they get nice and crispy, and you're done in like 7 to 10 minutes as opposed to 30 to 40 minutes the way I had to do it in college. And remember, in my college days and right out of school, the oven was the way, and it was so tedious, and we still made Totino's pizza rolls a thing that have now lasted until the 2025s. I gotta believe if we had air fryers and they were that easy to cook, we would have had them every meal. They would have been breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Totino's would have eventually come out with the pizza rolls that are the breakfast pizza rolls with like egg and bacon inside, your lunch pizza rolls, peanut butter jelly, and then at nighttime, you're air frying your classic collection of Totino's pizza rolls. But we didn't have the air fryer, so they're surviving and advancing on toughness. And now I feel like we live in this health-conscious society that shuns pizza rolls and treats them like everyone's too good for them. And the device finally is out to make these things the truly elite product that we needed. All right, this is the kind of good, hot stuff you get here on the Sean Widmer podcast. That's where my brain's been at. I also revisited another item from my past. My daughter came home from church on Sunday with this bag. I don't know why they got this bag, but they had this bag of summer goodies from, I think it was from church. Yeah, it was from church. And in this bag of summer goodies was a cool little bendy straw, And there was I think was there a pair of cheapo sunglasses? I'm trying to remember what else was in there. But in this bag of summer goodies was a Kool-Aid pack. I could not tell you the last time I had actual Kool-Aid. I'm talking the Kool-Aid that you put in the jug we all had that had the weird round top with the button on it that was supposedly going to suction this Kool-Aid into this container. I don't know. I never understood how that worked. Anyways, orange, we always had these. Everyone had these. The kind of Kool-Aid where you take a cup of sugar and dump it in with the water in the Kool-Aid pack and stir that thing for about 20 minutes until all of the sugar can finally dissolve, because there's more sugar than the water can truly saturate. But you do it anyways. And so we had that kind of Kool-Aid, and I made it for Olivia. And she and I, after it was done, got some glasses of ice, poured the Kool-Aid in, and we sat, and my brain went into nostalgia happiness, and her brain went into, what did you just unlock, Dad? What is this potion that you've created, this potion of happiness? And why have I not had it before? And I said, girl, we're in now, because your dad's got this taste that he's taking him back to elementary school days over at Micah Huffman's house. And I need to live there. I need to get back to those. I need to get back to my roots. So it's been a healthy week here at the Widmer house, filled with pizza rolls and Kool-Aid. It's been really healthy, but those things are great. Kool-Aid is underrated. Again, I know we have this movement in the mid-2010s that everyone has decided that kale and avocado toast and non-GMO, gluten-free, organic, if it doesn't have the buzzwords on it, why would you put it in your body? You know why? Because freaking Kool-Aid rules. It rules. A testament to us as humans evolving in the culinary world. To be able to go from, pick an apple. And everyone's like, oh, pick an apple. And what's in it? You know why an apple's healthy to eat? Because an apple is just an apple. The main ingredient of an apple is an apple. What's the main ingredient of a potato? Potato. That's a good thing for you to eat. There's not all this excess. Man, I'm so happy we have scientists. We're so picky on our scientists. We really want them to be good at some things, but then when they're good at something like making Kool-Aid, we're like, no, scientists, shame on you. It should have just been an apple the whole time. So, if you want the scientists to save your life eventually, you got to let them also make you Kool-Aid. That's what I always say. That's what I always say. Let's get into Kelly's What Are You Into? It's late. Let's wrap. Can you tell I'm recording this late? Where have we gone?
Kelly's What Are You Into?
Chet Holmgren's a beast. That's not Kelly's What Am I Into, but I'm just rethinking about the game I just watched. Chet Holmgren's a beast. There's a chance, Gonzaga basketball fans, there's a chance a Zag wins a title. Because we've got Andrew Nemhard with the Pacers. We've got Chet Holmgren with the Oklahoma City Thunder as players who are going to play a lot of minutes. On the bench in New York, I believe Anton Watson is still on the bench at New York. I believe if you're watching a Knicks game, you can see him. Former Peaceful Valley Hooper, Gonzaga Bulldog, Anton Watson. So there's a chance, there's Zags on 3 of the 4 teams remaining. And the one without a Zag just got punched in the mouth tonight. So there's something to think about if you are drafting this year. And I know there's a lot of NBA general managers and upper management that listens to the podcast. So it's a free tip from your guy here. Go get yourself a Zag and get yourself to the NBA Finals. It was weird this week, a story that popped up all over my timeline in a weird way. It started with the 1 Minute Man, Barstool Sports 1 Minute Man, and he's the person I saw post about it first. Then another YouTube group of guys that I watch, they mentioned it on a YouTube. It must have been on their podcast, and there's a reel of a clip of their podcast where they talked about this. And then I saw it on 2 other news sites that this YouTube channel, The Outdoor Boys, was done. And the guy who runs it made a video of I'm not doing this anymore. I'm getting too famous. That's not what this channel was about. I want to raise my family in a world where we're not in that world of fame. We're down to earth, and that's how we want to stay. And he stopped doing YouTube. And so I saw a lot of people posting this, and I was like, I've never heard of this. Never heard of this. I'm on YouTube a lot. I watch more YouTube than anything else other than sports, period. YouTube is where I'm going for content. And, you know, we have Disney Plus and a couple other streaming services. And I always question, like, why do we have these? Well, my kids and my wife have a lot of shows on them, so I get that part. But I'm on YouTube. That's where I'm at. And so I know a lot of channels on YouTube. I know a lot of the big channels on YouTube. I had never heard of the Outdoor Boys. And that just speaks to the vastness and size, scale, depth of YouTube. That in a world where my eyes are on YouTube all the time, never have I ever heard of the Outdoor Boys, a channel that posts videos that get tens of millions of views. This summer, they quit. They did quit. And it's just crazy to me. So I find this page. I'm like, holy smokes, this is an extremely popular YouTube channel. I've never heard of it. I love camping a ton. It's one of my favorite things. And I click on their channel and I was gone. Deep dive. I got sucked in. And I'm sitting there after about 6 hours from, 10 o'clock p.m. until Woods wakes up or Huck wakes up in the morning, watching Outdoor Boys, thinking, how have I never seen this? How did I miss this? How did my algorithm that knows that I'm on REI's website too much, or I'm looking at camping supplies on Amazon, how did they not throw into my algorithm a couple Outdoor Boys videos? And they're spectacular. There was one of the videos I watched where he goes to Alaska by himself for 4 days and sets up a camp on some isolated beach where there's no one around. He has to get dropped off by a boat that is going to come pick him up in 4 days, and he's just going to be out there. And he films the whole thing and goes and sees the sickest looking glacier I've seen on YouTube ever. He kind of shows you how to do fish stuff, how to find tracks, where to put your tent, things to have in your tent to stay warm, ways to cook food. Fascinating YouTube channel. But again, the only reason I bring it up, it's what I'm into right now. I'm watching a lot of it, and I'm just amazed. I'd never heard of it before this week. Massive channel. I'd recommend it. The Outdoor Boys. Now, he gets into, I'd watched enough of it that the guy started turning into my algorithm, and he has a lot of like sell his religion videos out there. And so those started popping up too much on my algorithm. Then I started to get a little worried because my YouTube algorithm is precious to me and I like where it's at. Because when right now, if I log onto YouTube, if I go to the homepage, at least one of the 6 or 9 videos that are on the screen, at least one is one that I for sure want to watch. Most likely it's 3 of them that I absolutely want to watch, and I'll click watch later on them. And then so I started watching Outdoor Boys, and I started getting all these videos popping up like, what's my mission in life? And I thought, oh, that's going to lead to a lot of that stuff. And religion, politics, and YouTube. Those are things I don't mix. What I do mix, Kool-Aid and sugar. Thank you for tuning in today. I want to do comments. Let's read some comments. Kelly over on, I think Kelly had a comment in a couple different places, so let's get to him. Kelly over on the website, seanslife.com, left this message, cool with a K, which is wild timing because I had not talked about Kool-Aid on the podcast, and he typed cool. He got half the word in on an episode where I was going to talk about Kool-Aid. Weird timing. He did say this over at over on Spotify. We had a couple comments on Spotify, 4 of them. So let's read them. Kelly said this after he said cool on my website. Tomorrow is a new day. Forget yesterday. It can be changed. Okay? Wait, tomorrow is a new day. Forgot yesterday. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not a philosopher, but there's some philosophy for you. Aunt Byrne said this. Never had allergies until I got older. A little enduring, but not as bad as yours. I'm telling you, Aunt Byrne, man alive. It has been sneezing for the ages. It's nonstop. And why is that they happen when you get older? I think I'm similar on that. I don't know what that is. I'm not a scientist or a biologist. I don't play one on the radio, none of that stuff. I just am not. So I don't know why, but I've heard that from people. Kimmers says this. Okay, here's another allergy thing. You ready? We got 2 more allergy things. Kimmers says this. They say if you eat a teaspoon of local honey, that will help you build tolerance to allergens. I don't even care if that's made up by Kimmers while she was typing. I feel like it's brilliant, right? It just seems brilliant. It's like you're consuming the pollen that is going to attack your eyeballs, and you're fighting that by saying, look at this, pollen. I'm digesting you. I'm not scared of you. I'm so not scared of you. I'm going to eat you and poop you out. So now who's scared? All right, you're poop now. And so then the allergies don't fight you. And that is science. I am a doctor there. Ian says this. I hate that's the way it works. You build a tolerance to allergens where you live your whole life, then move and poof, it's terrible. Okay, before we get back to Ian's comment, is that real? Have I been building up allergen tolerance in Venezuela till I was 18? And then I was like, forget that tolerance, moved back to the States in Spokane, build up my tolerance there, and now I'm resetting the clock for another go around with fighting allergies? Interesting. Ian went on to say this. His Kelly's, what are you into? Ooh, I'm interested in this, Ian. He said, Expedition 33. It has made my very short loss of games ID. Wait. I read that wrong. Yeah, there's a typo in there. I'm going to fix it. Expedition 33. It has made my very short list of games I'd recommend to literally anyone, regardless of their taste. Okay, dude, I've heard about Expedition 33. I have not researched it yet. I'm going to look real quick on the old Metacritic. Expedition. That's a hard one for me to spell in a pinch. And we're going to look at Metacritic. Let's see what kind of score it's at right now. The Metacritic score for Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Holy cow. A 92. It has got the certified must play. Its user score is a 9.7. Are you freaking kidding me, Ian? This is insane. Okay, I got to check this out. Claire Obscure Expedition 33. All right. I love it. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, world. All right. I got to go. I got to go to bed. It's late, in case you couldn't tell. By my loopiness. By my loopiness.